What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome to the marriage. Oh my gosh, Married at First Sight. I do too many shows here. That's okay. Listen, we're going to get into Mia asking Tristan for a divorce. Amber and Dave still clashing and bumping heads. And Danielle still already say I love you. Make sure you don't move.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Dave.
Dave.
Be so rude.
Oh, I like these lights. They're like very
Yeah.
pink and girly. Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah,
It's
wait.
very girly
Are we
today.
doing?
You know,
Okay.
since we're missing.
Okay, so there's a lot of feminine energy here. What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome. You are at the Married at First Sight after show. We're doing recapping season 7, episode 15. We have like one more episode left of Decision Day. Our boy Lem is not here, bro. Lem, we missed you. But it was all ladies tonight. As always, I'm your host, Felicia Michelle, and I'm here with my lovely ladies. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, guys. I'm Thelma and with Danielle. I'm sorry I missed you guys last week, but I'm happy to be here.
Woo! And I'm Shannon O'Connor. Also, where my girls at?
Hey, from the front to back. Oh, I thought y'all was
I was with you, girl.
So really quick, let's just jump into our overall thoughts of this particular episode. What were you guys thinking when you watched?
I don't know. It's just so touchy for it to be so close to the end and these relationships to feel as rocky as they do. Even when they make up, it still feels a little forced and uncomfortable. It was awkward to watch. There were a lot of awkward moments to watch throughout this episode, but I think that would be my big takeaway from it.
Yeah. I think it was pretty predictable except for Amber and Dave. I wasn't expecting the conversations.
The twist.
Yeah, to be that intense and that cold. So, and that just proves, I feel like it's proving my prediction even more that they're not gonna make it in the end. That's, you know, and so it was kind of hard. It was hard to watch because it's just like
A little uncomfortable to watch that exchange. This episode was a little stagnant. Like, I feel like for the final week of them being together and them going out to their, you know, like their second honeymoon, it just seems like there's not a lot of growth that's taking place. Like, people are kind of just complacent in where they are, and then now they're just trying to figure out what they should do instead of taking that time to actually grow closer. It seemed like it was more of a reflection, the opportunity to, you know, be romantic with each other, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So,
I agree. I agree with that.
Like, I feel like if it's a little bit of time left, wouldn't you want to get closer?
Absolutely. And this should be
just
the time.
to see, to pull all the stops out.
Yeah,
pull the tricks out the bag.
Yeah, this is the time to pull all the tricks out of the bag. And I just think it's really, to your point, it's really uncomfortable for all of us watching because it's close to the end. Next week is the last episode. And we're hearing conversations like, I committed to 8 weeks, but we didn't commit to a marriage.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What show have you been watching?
Yeah.
Because that hasn't been the case. So it seems like a bit of the goalpost being moved consistently.
For sure. So we kick off the episode because we see, like, you know, your favorite couple, me and Tristan. Lord, I'm trying to be objective here as I introduce this topic. But we saw them at the last episode, like, getting into it, and then this one, she up and like leaves, like in the middle of the night. Shorty's just like, I want a divorce and I'm leaving, and I turn off my cell phone. I'm not going to ask you guys if you were surprised. Just what was your reaction? Because I know you weren't surprised.
Yeah,
Like,
I think my reaction was the fact that she did that for a reaction out of Tristan. Like, she didn't do it because she really meant it. She did it just to see him fight for her or whatever she wanted to see happen. Then when she heard him be, like, hurt by it and him actually thinking, well, maybe we're not going to last. And then she was sad about it. I was like, girl, what?
I'm confused.
You are just...
She did say that, though. I was waiting for you to tell me that you did want me. Like,
exactly.
It was so
It's like
childish.
he has shown you this whole time that he wants you and he wants it to work. So, and the fact that she said that their arguments have been over such little things through their relationship. And I'm like, Mia, are you in the same relationship that we're all in with you right now? Because holy cow, it was just, but then it's expected. I'm expected for these conversations to happen and Mia just to be
delusional.
Yeah. But I like that Tristan actually said she acts like the victim. Is that the first time he said that?
I think maybe aloud.
Yeah.
But in that particular instance, he kind of was, because all we saw, or we can only go off what we see, and all we saw was that he was the one that, you know, threw the candle out and he packed her stuff. And whatever the role is or whoever's fault it is, you are an active participant in it. So I feel like the fact that you're mad is because you don't like the way it made you look, not because you regret the action. And that's what I don't like and I don't agree with, because it'd be different if you were regretful because you did it. And maybe you're embarrassed, but say that I'm embarrassed of my behavior. I'm regretful that I did that. It's something embarrassing for me. That's why I wish that you wouldn't have told them instead of just being like, that's not how it actually happened.
You're making me look like the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You made yourself look bad. You made the action.
You did make yourself look bad. But one thing was really interesting, the juxtaposition that we saw between both couples, because you see Amber basically asking for validation from Dave, and he's refusing to give it to her. And then you have Mia taunting validation from Tristan, and he's giving it to her, like, I know that's what you want to hear. Here you go. So it's like two things where they handle it differently, but I can't even say that either one was the right way from watching it. Right. So it's really hard to kind of touch on that and see how to go.
Do you guys believe it when they say that they're resolved from an issue? Because we always see them have these very like high, drastic, emotional, combative instances, and then they come down and come together and say, "Oh, I love you so much, and I really want this to work, and I believe that this will work." And then they act like nothing happened, and I think that that's so odd, because if it were me, it's like, I wrote, team can't let go. Like, that's them. Their team can't let go. Yeah. They can't let anything actually go. They just pretend to let things go and like kind of just put a blanket on it. And I'm not trying to be smart, but like, who the hell has a picnic with just a fruit basket? Yeah. Like, where's the sandwiches at? Like, there was no meat. Like, there was nothing. Like, you're just eating bananas and grapes and croissants, like hard croissants.
It's exactly, it's such a metaphor for their relationship. It's such a metaphor for their relationship. It's fake. It's to put it on a show again. So the issue that I'm having here is, Mia, for you to get up out of bed and toss the divorce word around, and like Shannon said, she didn't do it with the intention of, hey, I'm really feeling insecure right now, I'm really feeling like he doesn't want to be with me. You did it to taunt him. That tells me everything that I need to know. But then again, I'm not making the decisions, but that tells me everything that I need to know about your emotional intelligence, stability, and the weight that you put on this relationship, because you don't toss things like that around at all. I mean, that's like the first thing they tell you, like the first rule of marriage.
Don't throw divorce around. Don't throw that you're gonna leave. Dramatic. But that's what they do to each other. They like play this really, like, they play emotional games. of I'm leaving you, and it's like, obviously you both have issues with abandonment if that's the first thing that you both do and triggers, and it's the first thing that triggers both of you. So obviously you have some abandonment issues that you guys need to figure out what that problem is. And like I said before, I say it again, they just seem like two people who needed to work on themselves before they got into a space where they were able to be married without their personal issues coming in and taking over.
Yeah, and I just don't think they're a good, healthy balance for each other, because clearly they do have that in common, where they are not progressing personally on their own. And so if there's just two people doing that, it's just not going to work. So it's honestly sad to watch, because it's just like, holy cow, just going back and forth, you cannot feel good. There's no way they feel good about that relationship.
Yeah, they've even said themselves that it's emotionally draining, physically draining. And I think that hearing Mia say today that, of course, everybody says we're a work in progress. We're all a work in progress, right? And I know that you can never actually be fully prepared for marriage. That's the big thing about it. You don't know what's to come, right? But there's certain tools that you can have in your repertoire because you've been preparing, because you feel like, okay, if I'm gonna go on a show like Married at First Sight, it's because I feel like I'm ready to get married. Like, I'm ready for the things that come along with it. So hearing her pretty much say today that, like, I have so much to work on, and in these 51 days of being married, I have not mastered one aspect of the issues that we have had. She said that. It's like, what's happening here? Like, you guys need to be in it. You need to do more single work.
Thinking, because it's like, we grew closer on this mini second honeymoon together. I'm like, y'all grew closer. Like, what are you talking about? Closer to what? Are you drawn close to your savior? Like, what have you drawn close to? Because it's not each other.
No,
I'm serious. And also another thing too that I just thought about as we're sitting here, they were a strong match because they both had like a faith-based aspect to them, and they have not talked about their faith like one time I can remember in the show, and that was one of the things that they had put them together for. And I kind of wish that Pastor Cal would have been the one to be like, you both are very spiritual. We saw him do it with Nathan and Sheila before. He was like, you guys are spiritual. This is one thing, that aspect of why you guys are matched with each other. Like, focus on that. Like, and they just didn't do that. And it makes me think, like, I don't know, because only God could save their relationship at this point. And that's why I feel like maybe Pastor Cal needs to go over and like throw some blessed oil, some water, holy water, like something, lay some hands, like prophesy prophesize about a better future for them.
Yeah, well, and that's what I think the experts are kind of, not that they're checked out, but I just don't know how this is going over their heads that they have personal things to work on, and we're noticing it, and we're like, why aren't they pointing this out with Amber also? And like, why isn't that being pointed out by them?
That's
absolutely kind of
right.
A confusing thing for me.
No, you're absolutely right, and you just said something that kind of registered for me too. I do think maybe it's not the whole season, but the experts don't feel as involved this season, because before, literally, there's one fight that happens off camera, and they're popping up the next day, like, let's talk about it. So it's like, they don't feel engulfed in these relationships because there's so many things that are slipping through the cracks. They were like, so no one's going to talk about this?
Exactly.
And then we just move on, and we never hear about it again till we do.
Until they blow up again,
and then it just ends in, oh, kumbaya, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, and also, if the main reason they were matched was their faith and their physical attraction, like their physical wants and things like
that's
that, those two things are not holding their relationship together.
I don't know what is at this point, like cheap Scotch tape or something like that. Gum, like some old chewing gum that's broken apart in your mouth. They just stuck it together and was like, here you go. This is a relationship for a lifetime.
They seem to believe it is.
Speaking of a wonderful relationship of a lifetime, Thelma,
you guys are in a
relationship with our wonderful fans.
Yeah, because you guys are in a relationship with us.
Yeah, you are.
We are in a relationship
go together.
We go together, whether you like it or not. Okay. So hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite television shows, from drama, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to work for television fans like you, but we need your help. We're asking that you register and subscribe for one or more or all of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our YouTube channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made just for you. And who doesn't love that? So hit that subscribe button right now. Thank you. Let us know that you did so, and we'll be sure to say hi to you live on air while we're here talking about Married at First Sight and other shows. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't worry about them because they're optional. So let us know you did in the comments, like I said, and we'll definitely shout you out on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans ever and helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes. We do read the comments. So shout out to everyone in the live chat. You guys are like always there, and y'all are like family in there at this point. I'm so sad we only have like one more episode left next week.
Yeah.
But really quick, something else I wanted to point out, because we do read the comments. Like I stalk the comments. Like so I usually like them. I might not always comment, but I always like them. Even if they're mean about me, I still like them. I like them all. I don't care. So last week, Paula's Picks commented this, and I was like, this is a really great observation. She says, always enjoy she said, shout out to you, girl. She said, always enjoy the recaps more than this season's episodes. No surprise. Haha, girl. Love the shade. I think Mia and Tristan only stayed together for the money. Remember, this is the first season the experts gave each couple $5,000 per month. There's really no other reason for any of these folks to hang in. It might even be Dave's incentive to stay with Amber. Her insecurities have no remedy without professional help, and he's detached through exhaustion or something. Bobby and Danielle should have never signed up for 24/7 filming if they wanted to keep their lives private. So those are some really good observations. So I was like, dang, maybe holding on for those weeks, that $5,000 or however they plan to spend it, because if honestly I didn't really like you that much, I could somehow resolve within myself for $2,500 to get along with you until our 8 weeks is up.
Right.
You should say, at least I'm either walking away now, I'm walking away later.
That's $5,000.
You know what I'm saying? A little retail therapy. But I don't know. I just feel like this season is just really disappointing for me because I'm a big fan of the show. I really do love the show. I follow the couples. Like, I'm the person, you guys know, I'll comment with you on YouTube, that we're continuing the conversation on Twitter. Yeah, this is what we do. But I just feel like this season is just not doing it for me because I feel like the contestants are not people who are also a fan of the show, a fan of the process. And I think, like, in the past, we've seen people who are at least fans of the process, like Lillian, such a fan of the process, that she was able to go above and beyond and really bring the best of yourself, because you have a very short time to show
For
that.
Sure.
So I really wish they would have done that versus, like, I don't know, whatever this is.
So the couple that never shows us a bad side of themselves, really, the Minis. I love to call them the Minis, Bobby and Danielle. So they went on their honeymoon. I thought it was so cute. She put on her waders for him and her baseball cap, because he likes a girl who wears a hat. And got out there fishing with him. I thought it was nice because we always see so much of Bobby doing for Danielle and Bobby making it about Danielle, that this time Danielle sucked it up and made it about Bobby and what Bobby wanted to do and like an activity that he liked. So that was kind of cute to see.
It was super cute. Do you guys go camping all done up like she did?
I think she did that for the camera.
She did was have her eyebrows tatted on and her
eyeliner
and her lashes and her lashes
and her eyeliner. You know, I feel like it was almost full face. But I don't know.
Do that.
Okay, yeah, but
anyway,
no,
it was
glamping,
cute.
yeah, no,
Glampers over here.
I'm not a camper.
I was gonna say, you need to just rephrase the entire question.
I quit Girl Scouts because of that. I was just there for the cookies.
Do you guys go camping with your full makeup on? You should have stopped at the first part. Do you guys go camping?
Just at all? Okay.
No, I've been, but I think that with them, you said that they haven't shown us a bad side. I disagree. Just because it looks nice or whatever doesn't mean that it's good, you know? And sometimes I'd rather you pick a side than be complacent and just be lukewarm and, you know, aloof to everything that's going on around you. So I think that's kind of how I'm reading that. And it really is uncomfortable to watch when you see this young man falling deeply in love for somebody who's 4 years, whatever years older than him. And I feel like, yeah, she is older than him.
Yeah, I think she's like 4 years older, yeah.
So the thing about it is also, like, this is, like, his first everything. Like, it's kind of becoming, like, a situation where I'm like, okay, girl, if you don't really love him or you're not getting there, be honest about it. You know what I mean? Because at first it's, okay, we haven't been together that long. But when you feel a spark about something, when it's real like that, you can at least vocalize to the point where you see that he is so hurt by it. You can vocalize your emotions. But I don't know. It's really worrisome. I really feel bad for Bobby in this situation.
Well, that's like vocalizing her feelings. She's expressed that that's not something easy for her to do. Well, especially after 7 weeks. She keeps saying it's 7 weeks. How can I say I love you to somebody? But like you said, I mean, she could at least give him something.
At 7 weeks, can she say, I'm falling?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not asking for her to do that.
Yeah,
I'm not asking for her to say I love you. No. Yeah.
Well, it is, and that's what it is. Watching them is really sad because Bobby is still like, I'm going to say 100% yes, and I don't know if she's going to say yes at the end of it, you know? So that makes it really sad.
Dedicated. He's like, I don't know if my wife loves me until she tells me that she loves me. And then she's literally saying, this episode we hear her say, she's confused about how she's feeling. And I don't know if the confusion comes from maybe it's too good to be true, or maybe like she has some reservations about the relationship that we don't know because she doesn't express them. Like with them, it's never that like they don't show us a bad side, but it's in comparison to other couples who show us a more transparent side of themselves and their issues. We don't have that with Bobby and Danielle. So it's really hard to champion and root for their like love story because every good love story has some tragedy to it. Like every great love story has a little tragedy in there. It's just like, oh no, we saw each other at first sight, we're perfect, everything's wonderful and amazing, and we take in adopted dogs and they poop in all over our house. Like and it's awesome. We love each other.
I think her
oh no, only one of us loves each other.
Right. I think her, like Dave, I think they kind of feel the pressure to kind of say something right now, right here, when it's like, let me authentically get there, or when I want to say it, I will say it, kind of a thing. So maybe they are feeling the pressure, and so that makes her kind of question, like you said,
I can't accept that. I have to refute
really
that because she was told to express. She was explicitly told that she needs to get better at expressing her emotions because her husband does and she doesn't. Right. She was explicitly told to do this. Yeah. So it's not like I thought about it, I had a realization. No, I looked you in your face and I told you that you can tell your husband how you feel about him and not just keep it to yourself. Like you're letting this guy like essentially just kind of hang in the air in the breeze, and you're just like, okay, I like you. Yeah. But it's only been 7 weeks. But you married him and you sleep with him.
Yeah.
And it's the actions. Yeah.
I think I'm just talking more about the L word specifically, like love, like not necessarily her feelings, because you know she did write the letter and whatever else to express her feelings more. Hopefully she's doing that more frequently. But I think just the love word freaks a lot of people out, and I think
then you should never have been married at first sight. You should have never decided to get married to anybody. If the love word freaks you out, then you should stay away from relationship and from marriage.
But even those people who are scared deserve to have love, though. Also deserve to be married.
Everyone's
even
deserving.
If it's scared, even though
almost everyone's
them.
deserving of love.
Yeah.
Almost everyone.
Almost everyone is deserving of love. I don't believe in absolutes, so I can't always be like absolutely one thing. Right. I don't believe in absolutes.
Right.
I'm a favorite nothing. I don't believe in absolutes.
Yeah.
So most people are deserving of love. Almost all people are deserving of love, and they are. But if you're not ready to be married at first sight, to say that you love somebody, I thought it'd be the other way around. Like, you're more susceptible to falling in love and like ignoring the signs and not really paying attention because you want to have somebody in that place in your life. And it makes me think like, I wonder if Danielle sees the signs or sees things she doesn't like, but it's not a part of her life plan. Like, you know, everyone has kind of like their life plan that at 23 I'll do this, at 25 I'll do this, at 28 I'll do this. And now she's 30 and she's not married and she probably wants to have kids. So she expressed that she wants to have children. So she might think, oh, well, this just works for my timeline and he's really nice. But it seems like the passion, you know, like when you've ever been in love, you guys ever been in love and you just want to grab somebody by their face and just kiss them all over it. You just are so happy and like passionate and playful, and it's not like that with them. Oh, I mean, I sound so judgmental.
No, it's not even that. No, I'm literally just like, tell us how you really feel. But seriously, no, I can't refute the things that you're saying, because you're making sense, and you're making sense too, because you know there hasn't been that much time. I think for me, I can only compare it to what I've seen on Married at First Sight as a fan. Yeah. I've seen such magical relationships, love stories. I mean, like the drama, cue the Telemundo. You know what I mean? So we've been taken on a journey. This season is like, just give me somebody to believe in. Like, just give me some couple to root for and truly be invested in. And unfortunately, I can't really see that being Danielle or even Danielle and Bobby. For sure not.
I know, it's so sad. And like, you're waiting to hear the words and you don't hear it. But if you are listening to us on iTunes, you hear our wonderful voices. Make sure that you please give us 5 stars. Wait, and also, we're not just on iTunes, we're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify now. That's brand new. So if you don't have the opportunity to see our lovely faces, you can hear our beautiful voices, and you can always give us comments and stars. We like stars. 5 is perfect because 4 is not enough. Okay, thank you.
But
So back to not that sense of not being wanted or feeling. Listen, I look to my left and they're both just cheesing at me. It's like the cutest thing ever, and I just don't even know what I'm gonna say. They both like matching in their pink tops with the thing, and they didn't call me or tell me. And it's fine. I forgive you guys. You didn't apologize, but I forgive you.
You got the shadow
Popping, right?
In the shadow.
So feeling that sense of pressure to say I love you or to be in the same space. Dave, who we dedicated our opening song to, Why You Gotta Be So Rude, was going through it with Amber this episode. I felt for Amber so, like, I was like, I kind of want to cry. Like, it's just sad to watch. I feel embarrassed.
Seriously.
And uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because she wanted him to say something to put her at ease so bad, and he just was doing the opposite. And he was doing it on purpose. He even said, well, she thinks I'm not doing this, so I'm going to act that way. I'm like, Dave, are you freaking kidding me? He was acting so childlike, which I was really surprised he admitted at the end of the whole day that he was.
I don't like the
being
mind
childlike.
games. Don't play no games with me. Not play games with me.
Especially when you're seeing her struggle and like so frustrated, and
she's doing the awkward smile.
It was.
That was like.
It was just rough. It was so sad, and at this point, I was like, they're done. That's what I was thinking this whole conversation.
Like, dang,
I'm like,
me and Tristan aren't even the worst ones this episode. It was Amber and Dave.
I know, right?
I really need you to understand. Yeah, if Dave would have talked to any one of us, and we are three very different personalities. If he would have talked to any one of us, I know for a fact we would have gotten up and left that dinner. Like, that's it. The original dinner, not the one later, and then we're talking. And like, no, I'm not asking you if you would have gone on vacation. All this extra stuff, like.
But
desperation stinks.
Yes, it does. What she asked for was so simple. Though all she said was, if the decision wasn't that, if there was no decision, would you still want to be here with me? All she wanted him to say was, I want to be sitting across from you in this moment. Not like another moment.
But I'm saying, like, the thing that's annoying me about these couples sometimes, like Mia even said, I'm not seeing any of them learn. You're not learning your partners. You guys aren't. No one is making adjustments in terms of like you learning how your partner thinks, how your partner works. You know what I mean? Like, look at Danielle. We're just talking about that. You haven't decided, like, okay, listen, I know my partner needs words of affirmation. That's his love language. Let me twist my tactics. Same thing with Tristan and Mia, and same thing with them. Why do you feel like doing the same thing you've been doing today this entire time is going to work? Anytime you show you're overly vulnerable, overly emotional with him, he recluses. It's the opposite. You expect him, he's going to look you dead in your face as you cry. So you need to know.
He doesn't feel bad for her.
Exactly. So he doesn't operate off of emotion. He wants to move. He wants to be talked to in a logical manner. So you have to twist your tactics as to how to relate with him. You know what I'm saying? Or decide you don't want to be with him. But I feel like back and forth is crazy, and I don't believe that he actually had this master plan to be mean to her. No, he just was being himself, and he was being rude, and he was being reactive, and he was being kind of douchey, and he, you know, like the way you do, you feel yourself like, oh man, I'm being really rude right now, I'm being really mean right now. So I feel like because of that, you know, he now is like, oh, you know, I tried to do this reverse psychology thing, like, because you know how you look on TV.
I think that they were drunk. I think that they were drunk that first dinner. I think they were drunk at the second dinner, and that's why they got to laughing like that and just let it go. I think that they were just super intoxicated, and she was in her feelings because she was intoxicated, and he was being a jerk and in his feelings because he was intoxicated. Like, he got smart with her, and I think the next thing he said was, do you want more wine? She was like, sure. I think that they just were, I really just think that they were drunk and irritable with each other, and that's really it. Like, she just went back to her normal behavior of wanting to be validated. Matter of fact, they said in the live chat too, where's it at here? I feel embarrassed for Amber for other reasons. She has this insatiable desire for validation. You know I always say your name wrong. Can you put it phonetically how you say it? If you're gonna be here every week, just tell me how to say it so I can say it right. Okay. You're gonna be here every week. Just let me know. Been here every week. Yeah, no, and I keep telling her I don't know how to say your name, so tell me how to say it phonetically in here, please help me out. Because I sound stupid every time I do it.
No, never.
No, sometimes. No, but it's hard to watch. But I got what he was saying, though. Like, stop trying to rush me to be in the same place as you. Like, you want me to emotionally be in the same space as you and be equal. And that's not how real relationships work. Not even friendships sometimes, like with people. It's like you get in and you meet somebody, and one person has to go a little bit harder. One person will always put a little more effort in, even in friendship, like of trying to make plans. Like, you know, you have that one friend is the one who makes the effort, and you might not be the one that makes the effort all the time or flanks on something. But, you know, like, someone has to make the effort and have a little bit more. It's not going to be 50-50. Nothing in a relationship is 50-50. Like, you know, you might get 60-40 if you're real super, super lucky. But you better it's just not going to be 50-50 all the time. So someone's going to want someone a little more. You're going to like someone a little more. Like, you know, when you get with someone, you know how it is. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. You know, I'm definitely agreeing with what you're saying. But I also think that you guys are making good points, and just also when we're talking about them making up at the end with the laughing, right? A part of me is like, that's so phony. Like, I can't even register it. But then there's another part of me that I know, like, how things get. But usually it's when you're really close to somebody. I think the reason we're skeptical about that the way that they resolve that is because they haven't known each other that well, and they don't seem to have that deep connection. Whereas you can have friends, your sisters, your siblings, you just blew up about one thing, 30 minutes later, so you watching the show, just go ahead and turn it on. All right, you want some food? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's normal, you're over it, you know, but it didn't feel that authentic. I think that's the problem. But that could be the case, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been in a relationship, or, you know, have had arguments where it's over something so stupid, and then we're so angry about it, and then we laugh about it. But this is not. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying is this is like a serious discussion that there still isn't an answer from him about it. So that's why I thought that laughing part then was so weird. It was almost like eerie to me. I was like, what?
Like they just didn't want to argue anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a Mia and Tristan kind of.
So what does that show you, though? If you don't want to argue anymore, it's like you're done fighting for it. It's like, I'm over it.
You just get them to make you a double, and you say I don't want to talk about it anymore, because that's clearly what happened. I think that they just honestly got drunk and they were like, we'll just deal with it another day.
Yeah.
But it's very, very close to decision day, and the fact that you have no clue. I understood. Maybe it's because, and I was watching, I was like, damn, I really wish Lem was here, because Lem always gives us like the guy perspective, and maybe he would have like had a different viewpoint on it. Like, I'm trying to think, maybe like he just was tired of always having to.
No, I agree with that completely.
Validate her, and he was tired of having the same. He said, "I'm tired of having the same conversation over again."
I agree with that, because I've also been in that position. We like you said, we have friends, and it's like I love you. Like we're friends. We're like everything is fine, but people are busy. People have lives. Those people that you feel like you have to keep explaining to. So there's that aspect to it. But at the same time, he didn't necessarily just feel like that, right? He's been doing everything that he can to validate Amber for what we see, but he has those moments that I feel like the things that he says sometimes erases everything, and I can't fault her for thinking that. No. For example, when he says, "We committed to eight weeks. We need time. On that day, we'll decide if we want to commit to each other."
Like, first off, you get married.
That is such a problematic statement. It's like, whoa, why are we even going to wait?
Me now?
Let's not even wait till then. Let's just go ahead and end this now. If you committed to 8 weeks, it's week 15.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because really, if you get into the relationship, you get married, I don't think any person stands in front of their mother, their father, family, and friends. They make a whole big deal, make people spend money on dresses to do all that just to get divorced. I truly believe anybody who gets married is trying to get married for the rest of their life, or I would hope so at least. So if you walk up there with the intention of not being married to me for the rest of your life, now I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, because I signed up for something that you didn't sign up for. And had I known that you were just trying to be here for 8 weeks, then, I mean, maybe we would have divvied up that stipend a little differently every month. Like, you know, you go ahead, you use, or you get $1,000, I'm going to get $4,000, because I was here to get married. And you were here to, I don't know, see if you could be married.
Exactly. Who's going to help her through her broken heart when he's, good?
Paisley, the cat.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to take away from him, because I'm sure he says that he has deep feelings for her too, and we cannot take away from the fact that Amber has been hard to deal with. Yes, they have a connection, but I feel like whatever connection they have is also it's unfortunately blinded by the awkwardness that they've had to overcome, and the little fights they've had to overcome, and the personality differences that they've had to overcome, but also the lack of self-work in each of them. So I feel like when you've had to consistently have to like reassure somebody, it gets tiring, you know? And you're like, I can see him thinking to himself, it shouldn't be this hard, like that kind of thing.
Right, that is what he's thinking. Well, and another thing that I kind of thought of when they were having their discussion, he was getting frustrated, is he does like to be in charge, right? Like he does kind of have the upper hand. And so this argument or this discussion, she was like, give me an answer. Not that she was demanding, but she was like, tell me what you think. Tell me this. She didn't let it go. Yeah, and I don't think he liked that. He was, that she was wanting this answer right now. And he's like, wait. I'm usually the one leading these conversations and leading this relationship. Now you're doing it. This makes me feel uncomfortable. So I feel like that could have maybe been a thing also in his head.
But I guess we'll have to see. Maybe
good old Dave.
Yeah, good old Dave. Let's get into some good old news and gossip.
Let's do it. Where's my music? All right.
TV news.
We don't even need the acapella. Women make it work, always.
I really want to know what's going on, because, this is big.
So, breaking news. So, I talked about this earlier in the season. Season 6ers, Jeffy and Shanice, they had their baby. Woo-hoo. So they had her 3 weeks early, actually, but she's all good. Her name is Laura Denise Pierre, and she was only in labor for 5 hours, which is
that is unfair.
Look how beautiful.
It's really, really cute. I like a little outfit. Family. Actually, you can't say if baby's cute or not. No, it's small.
That was a couple that gave me love. They gave me love story. Okay, they gave us passion,
for sure,
rawness, and vulnerability, and I will be watching.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah. Well, and the baby was 5 pounds, 15 ounces, and they named her after their moms. So Laura Denise, named after both their moms.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And Jeffy, I have to read you this quote that he said. He said, "Watching her birth has to be the best moment of my young life. It's incredible to think she's all ours." So they're just sweet and precious. And actually, you guys have to watch them on Happily Ever After. Comes out October 30th.
I'm excited for that, because everyone always wants to see the follow-up of what's going on. And now we can actually see what's going on with the people who we've been watching and loving and we're rooting for.
Yeah.
So, but let's get into some predictions.
I really do hope that's motivation.
Yeah.
Now,
This music.
It's very October though. You know?
Yes, it's very fall like. Maybe I will dress up for Halloween and I will be Danielle.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a black Sharpie I could borrow? Okay. So who wants to go first with predictions? Let's do a prediction like this week. Because next week we're gonna see if they're gonna stick together or they're gonna stay apart. So give your prediction.
Yes or no's.
Yes or no's for Mia.
For each person or each couple.
Mia and Tristan, like couples, because we have a lot of people. We have a little bit of time.
So Mia, Tristan, I think Tristan's gonna say yes and Mia's gonna say no. I don't think it's gonna be a unanimous decision. I think Bobby and Danielle, I think they're both gonna say yes.
Okay.
Dave and Amber, I want to say they're both gonna say no.
Okay.
Even though I want to say Amber's gonna say yes and Dave say no, I hope Amber just kind of thinks, wow, he's not showing me the love I deserve right now. I can't have that forever. So maybe they're both gonna say no. Those are my predictions.
I really hope she drops the pen like that. Like, boom.
Mic drop.
That's it.
No,
mic drop.
I'm out.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. And I hope that, I hope that she does that, but I also think it would be, she's going to try and like prevent it from looking bad on her, you know, like a preemptive strike. Yeah. Like, okay, let me just go ahead.
Who's together and who's not?
So together, so Mia and Tristan, they're definitely not going to be together. I think they're probably both going to say no. Okay. With Amber and Dave, I think Dave is for sure going to say no. I think Amber is going to say yes. Danielle and Bobby, they're both definitely going to say yes.
Yep.
I don't see Danielle saying no. Okay. I think she means no, but she's not going to say it.
She's not going to say it. Okay, so the minis, I think that Danielle and Bobby are both going to say yes. Bobby is an absolute yes. Bobby's like capital Y-E-S, yes. With Tristan and Mia, I think that Tristan will say yes because he just seems to have this unwavering, weird desire to be married. I don't know if he just worships her because she's his light-skinned queen. I don't know. And Mia, I think Mia will say yes, but like in a weird way where we don't really think she means yes, like in a way where like she rationalizes it in some way we think she's being. I just
the question at the end
and see how this is gonna work with my husband. But we know how it worked. You guys got divorced. We reported that like 3 weeks ago or something like that. And Amber and Dave. So I think that Amber is going to say yes, and I think that Dave is going to say yes in a very reluctant way. He's going to say yes because he's not going to have enough reasons to say no. I think he's somebody who really calculated and weighs out like pros and cons and is very like logical in his thinking. So it might not be a yes with my full heart, but I think it's going to be a yes. I would like to see how this continues to go because they're both older and, you know, anybody got time for all of that, you know. I don't know if it's a lifelong partnership, but I do think that they'll both say yes, but we will have to wait and see. Next week is the season finale. I'm so sad, but because we have our live chat family and our family here. So next week, Lem will be back. He better be back next week. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Ladies, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Thelma and Twitter, Moxie_soul.
Yes, and I'm Shannon O'Connor. You can find me on Instagram at Shannikin_Skywalker and on Twitter at ShanOC.
And I'm Felicia Michelle, and you can find me on Instagram at It's Felicia Michelle, and you can find me at 9 o'clock doing The Voice on our reality channel, so make sure you tune into that. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you for the next week's season finale. Yes. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.